Now that we've established where the American economy fits in a relative context, and that the American economy is properly characterized as a market capitalist economy, and before we move on to a discussion of some of the specific policies that government does undertake when it intervenes in the economy, we should examine some of the basic tenets of capitalist economic theory. Number one, private property exists. This is the most fundamental tenet of capitalism. It means that people can obtain, control, dispose of, and use the property resources that they own, subject to only minimal government-imposed limitations. The extent to which you are free to dispose of your property is limited only to the extent that it infringes on other people's property rights. Number two, freedom of enterprise and freedom of choice exist. Freedom of enterprise means that individuals can become entrepreneurs. That is, they are free to take risks with their own resources, or perhaps the resources of others, in pursuit of profit. Freedom of choice has two components. Consumers can buy what they want. This is the doctrine of consumer sovereignty. And secondly, workers can choose their own vocations. In a capitalist economy, no one is going to tell you how to employ your labor. Number three, rational self-interest is the driving force of the economy. This means that all economic actors attempt to maximize some objective subject to budgetary constraints or other objectives. Entrepreneurs, for example, attempt to maximize their profits, subject perhaps to some self-imposed constraints. The suppliers of inputs, such as labor, capital, and natural resources, are attempting to maximize their income, subject to some constraints. Workers, for example, want to maximize their income, subject to leisure time. And consumers are attempting to maximize their overall satisfaction, subject to a literal budget constraint.